For me, epic is bigger than life and over the top, and everything that you can associate to actually the Greek mythology. So, it's something inspired by the gods and the heroes and the monsters. So it had to be bigger than life.
This is incredible.
And so that's why we have special abilities with godly powers, huge monsters, and something very intense and acrobatic in the gameplay, but also in the world, where you have that huge vertical world with structures and statues and things that look like it has been built actually by the gods, and that's the epic feeling we wanted for the game.
Open your wings! I can't!
I have you now!
So the most exciting part is creating something new and not from scratch, because it's always from inspiration and from past experience, but it's still something brand new, and that's always very exciting. And it's linked to the challenge because it's almost a blank page, so you have to bring everything together and find the right recipe, the right execution, the right mood, the right pacing, and it's all too defined, and so that's exciting and scary at the same time.
Ah!
I think it's the first thing is an intention that is the translation of the experience you want to create. So it's something that is high level and involves all the aspects of the game. So, for example, we wanted an open world. We wanted something very action-based and very intense. We wanted something inspired by Greek mythology. We also wanted something light-hearted and with a lot of humor in the tone, in the story, in the characters.
It's all right. Could use some updating. The color motif is a bit played out.
Also, we had an intention in terms of experience that was making the journey as challenging, as rewarding as the destination. So that was a kind of a motto to drive the vision and the creation of the game. So that were all the intention that we mixed together at the start to start establishing what will be the game and start building it. No, we are very far from a from a Dark Soul. We actually wanted to have something very accessible but intense. So it's very action packed, and you have a fight that is acrobatic, over the top. You have the exploration and the navigation, where you have a lot of control on your characters. You can jump, you can double jump, you can glide, you can climb. So you have a lot of options, and when you mix all of that together, it can be pretty intense and exciting. And that's why we wanted puzzles also, so we can have a pace breaker and a moment where you can cool down and focus on something different. And we put a lot of effort and options to make sure that you can adjust the difficulty to the level you want, and not just for the combat, but also for the puzzles or the navigation, where we have a lot of helpers you can activate to tailor the experience to what you want.
Suddenly, the majestic form of a wild creature caught Phoenix's eye. If Phoenix wanted to tame the beautiful beast, the mortal would have to befriend it first.
Why are you whispering?
Because I don't want to scare it away.
We have a unique mix of combat, puzzle, and traversal. So for us, the game difficulty had to acknowledge that and try to give tools to the players so he can adjust the overall difficulty, including the puzzle. So we worked on helpers and some specific feature to help on that. We wanted a different angle on Greek mythology, and from the start we wanted something light-hearted and with a lot of humor, while treating of the sometime hard and dark subject of the Greek mythology.
Oh, oh, it's perfect.
I don't want to spoil, so I would just say that yes, we have we have a lot of Easter eggs about the entertainment universe, let's say, and also we have a lot of joke and references from Prometheus and Zeus about the modern world at large.
One of those evil parasites is about to save your royal ass.
My ass is safely lodged in the Aegean stables, and mortals will never be anything but a mistake.
And they have this meta view of what is happening, and they're like aware about the fact that there is video games, extra. So they are using that to break the fourth wall and do references and joke about these kind of things. We looked at a lot of different games because, as I was saying, we have a lot of different gameplay elements mixed together. So for the world building and some of the exploration loop, we looked at Zelda, and we also looked a lot at what we did on Assassin's Creed Odyssey and what we wanted to change or to do differently. For the combat, we looked at games like Darksiders or Devil May Cry with the air combat. And for the puzzles, we looked at many different games to actually learn. As I was saying, it was something new for us, so to see how we can build good puzzles. So we looked at Portals, World of Goo, The Witness, and many different games with many different gameplays. On next gen, we have a 60 FPS and 4K option. We're also working on an option to push the graphic fidelity even further on next gen, so have the option to go on 60 FPS or 30 FPS, but even more quality on the graphic side. And obviously the loading time with the SSD hard drive that are much faster on next gen.
Hey there.
For the Switch, the challenge has been to look at each part of the game and the different context and see what we could optimize, what we could do differently, so the experience is the same and the game still look good, but run actually on the Switch. So it's a lot of smoke and mirrors to for example, how we can optimize the fog or the lighting, maybe sometime have something less dynamic and something more pre-calculated to help the performance. So it was a lot of going in the detail of each aspect of the game and to see where we can trade to gain performance without losing too much on the global experience, and make sure that it's still the same game you play on all the platform, and it just use the strengths and the weakness of each platform to optimize the experience. The first thing is the combat and the free form of the combat, where you can create a lot of different combos and mix together moves, attack, and special abilities to do crazy things. Then it's the exploration and the navigation, where you have that momentum feeling, where you're gonna try to move forward and keep the pace and go fast while managing your stamina, mixing double jump and gliding and climbing and all of that. And the last aspect is the original take on Greek mythology and discovering that universe inspired by Greek mythology, but with that twist of humor and light-hearted tone.
You wouldn't happen to be Aphrodite?
Why, yes, I am. Pleasure to humbly make your acquaintance.